You know,
Hey, you got home in time.
I did a little bit of juggling. I didn't know it was going to be that long.
I had a shorter route.
Yes, you did. Well, we'll see how that goes. I definitely have an opinion.
So do
So,
I.
but yeah, and
And we
I'm
won't
being
talk about it.
no, especially since you're recording, which I'm staring just for the record. I am staring at it. It says recording.
It does, indeed.
So I don't know where it goes. It doesn't come to
At one
me.
time, it went to your computer.
It it did. And like 2 meetings ago,
Hmm.
I couldn't find it. And so I reached out to Brennan and I said, I don't know where it went. I can't find it. And he said, well, let me look. And he looked into it, he set it up for recording to the cloud and he locked it because he's like the ultimate admin. And so it's but since then
And,
I haven't tried to mess with it.
and you turned it off at the end of the,
You don't have to. When you end the meeting, it ends.
yeah, but you have to stop the recording.
No,
Oh,
no, because it starts automatically. And then it stops. It goes, I see it on the screen. It says converting the recording. Yeah, it
I
says
was
where it
told,
goes.
and this was the old days, I was told to make sure that you signed out so that the next committee could pick up that same URL.
I'm signing out. Not well. You have to
You have to close the URL.
for the meeting, not for the recording. Like you have to end the meeting because I log in as
Yes, yes,
meet
yes. Okay, and
close
that
board.
automatically stops the recording. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So hi Nate.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Hey,
You
It's
there?
just it's just starting to do weather outside. We
Is that
just
is it
right?
time to do it?
yeah. On the way home, it was like it's
Yep.
it's it's gonna be ugly.
Do
So
you have
Greg,
do you have the taxi run tonight, Nate?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Got hockey practice, but I think it's okay. It's just to Mullins and back. Um, so I can take it slowly. I'm a little more worried about tomorrow morning.
we're going tomorrow morning.
Oh, not me, but just like school buses, and
Oh,
it seems like more of a freezing rain
yeah,
situation
yeah,
overnight, like
yeah.
into the
I
morning. So,
I think it's more parental worry that it'll be a late start.
hmm.
That would be my guess. You know,
Yeah.
in the old days with um oh goodness. I know when Maria Garrick was superintendent, she used to do this, but she would drive around to all four towns in the region, like whenever it was going to be bad weather in the morning to find out like what it was like, or
Wow.
because all the superintendents talk at like 3 or 4 in the morning to figure out like who's doing what. And I
Yeah.
was I was all impressed because if you're in Amherst, you get totally different weather,
yeah.
so you can't make the call from sitting in
Yeah.
your home in Amherst. And I thought it had a lot of credibility to actually drive. A little insane, but to drive around
Yeah.
nonetheless. So, well, why don't I call us to order, and hopefully Greg will join us at
Okay.
7:03. And oh, is Greg supposed to take minutes, or did he do it last time? I can't remember.
Greg was gonna do it because he missed it last time, but
Let's see. Well, we're
Okay.
record. Let's assume we're recording. Let's do
Hmm.
that because I know for planning board, Mateo doesn't come to the meetings all the time, and then he does the minutes afterwards. So, and there's always a transcript. So I'll say
Okay.
if, yeah, because you guys step up a lot. And if for some reason the recording doesn't happen, I'll work off the transcript and I'll do it. So, and it should be a short meeting. It's not like
Okay.
massive stuff. Um, so, uh, let's see, public comment. I don't see any public. Um, so we'll just jump over that one. So I think most of the discussion is updates. The big one, I think, is doing the clean energy funding, which Gail, you were part of the the joint, I don't think you weren't come to the joint call, did you? Or were you? I can't remember. That was before Christmas with FinCom and the Buildings Committee and all that.
Yep.
Were you at that meeting?
You're talking
Yeah,
about the various meetings about the school?
yeah, you were there.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just Greg that wasn't.
I was out over my skis, which
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
pointed out.
yeah. So I think it's just following up from that. And I mean, I have two updates I shared with Nate already, but one of them is that I saw Frank over the weekend, and he arranged for Mass Save to come to the school on the 13th to do the energy audit, which is great. So that's very cool. I don't have the time yet, but he was very responsive about that. And then the other two things is he, I think at the meeting he might have mentioned, but Tom Seifert's brother has some company, an engineering company that just got bought out by um, GZA, who's the company that's working on the dam. And so Frank reached out to GZA about would they come and check something out about geothermal. So there's nothing
Mhm.
yet. There's nothing yet, but he's doing the outreach actively. And then Jeff Quackenbush um, reached out to his contacts at UMass because they're doing this huge geothermal stuff at UMass to figure out. And Jeff also reminded me Amherst is doing it, and I know Mount Holyoke's doing it as well. So, his only, he set the expectations. He said, two things. Most likely, anybody who's doing the colleges is going to be a huge Eastern Mass based firm, even if maybe not even Eastern Mass, but bigger than anyone who would want to do Shrewsbury. Um, and so he said it might not be quick, but he's going to work his networks to figure out like if he can sort of find somebody. So I was encouraged since they're both on the building committee, they were taking it, very seriously. Whether we can pull it off in time, I'm not sure. Gail.
Nate, you were going to talk with schools around here who had done it, retrofit. Did you get any interesting information from that?
I haven't been able to obtain much useful information. A lot of the projects are um, kind of in the development phase. One thing that both myself and Anna Hurd, my partner, who's on the school committee, we've been trying to get information about the folks that are doing the Fort River uh, uh,
Oh,
project, right? So that's a large geothermal project, and we're hoping to get information. We have the name of the sort of the large contractor, but the folks doing the HVAC are specialist subcontractors, and we have not yet gotten a name to that uh, group. Um, so I unfortunately don't have a lot to report back on that line of inquiry this evening. Um, but we did get a recommendation for an organization that would be able to develop like um, some estimates. So uh, we had received a quote from Western Mass Heating and Cooling and Plumbing. They do residential ground source heat pumps, and they suggested or recommended a group called LN Consulting. Um, so one of the questions that I wanted to bring to the group tonight is um, like I'm not sure how if we I know that we want to get multiple bids or perspectives on a project of this nature, and the uh, whoever if a project were to go forward, there's that public bid process, but I'm less clear on how we dot our I's and cross our T's around um, getting multiple or like estimates, if you will. particularly if that involves some outlay from the town. Um, so I just see like a need for some more meetings on this.
How can we get an assessment even on feasibility
Mhm.
before we,
Someone might come and say, "Oh no, this will never work."
well,
Right.
given
Which is
the
helpful.
power, given the building, given the infrastructure, given the heating system that's there, given all of that, is it even makes sense to look at for it?
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I think I think there's a step before you get to detailed mechanical drawings, right?
Yeah, I should
Yeah.
think.
Like this is why I think, I mean, it's sort of a bummer, but I do think the group discussion was helpful in terms of like being ready for February is impractical in terms of like
Oh, yeah.
getting there. But what it just came to mind based on your question, and this is sort of like Nate, you can informally tell Anna, but so the FinCom starting, in January, if not earlier, sometimes has meetings with each of the committees to find and departments to find out what they need so they can build the budget. And the school always has a turn at the table, and they're usually talking about how there's cuts and this and that and the other thing. But I think that would be the time, for the school, and when they have that meeting, we could come, the buildings committee could come to basically say the school needs to look at, the heating system in the long term. And we need to start now if we're going to address that, and just talk about the finances. I mean, my jaw dropped when Nate talked about how much they just spent. I think it was 47 grand in oil. I
Frank.
mean, no, I think it was Nate Longcoat who said it.
Yeah, other
Oh,
Nate.
the other
Yeah.
name. Okay.
Yeah. And, like, so the FinCom's eyebrows should go up when they hear that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it seems like making, if it gets into the budget,
Yes.
the thing that was really, I can't remember who I was talking. Oh, I was talking to Jeff and Frank, and I said, the best outcome of that last meeting was that we have multiple committees, and if we can, as a town, say this is something we need to achieve, maybe it's we can't do it immediately, but if we're all saying this is the next big priority now that we've gotten a library, that's it's a shared goal, and then it's a matter of bringing everyone's expertise or role to play. And
Yeah.
so I can imagine that if that was a warrant article and if the school, the FinCom, the buildings, and ECAC all sponsored it,
Mhm.
that
And
would
split
help.
the budget line.
Oh, well, you could do that, but I think it would go to the
Still
school
not going to
because
get to
no
100K.
one. No, just for like the assessment part, the
Yep.
feasibility study. Because that's always our challenge is the feasibility
Yep.
stuff. Um,
Isn't that
so,
what Longcop said was tens of thousands?
oh, you're talking about, I think it was Jeff who was talking about the expense. No, I think it was the next part, like
Okay.
yeah, I think someone's got to,
So it might be realistic to consider the feasibility study as shared by a number of committees?
no, I'm thinking it should be, well, the school's a department, so they actually have a budget. So I would say the, if there was a warrant article, or it's actually just maybe a warrant article going to the budget where it's to do this assessment, it would go to the school budget. But like any other warrant article, it could be supported by different committees. So, the the FinCom could support it, we could support it, buildings could support it, but it basically creates this consensus of like various parts of town think this is a good idea for the school.
Yeah.
Um,
But where's the money come from?
from the budget, the town budget, and we get voted in June, is what I'm saying, or whenever we have town meeting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do we?
It's
Okay.
up to FinCom to figure out where to pull the money from, but it would
Mhm.
go into the school budget or go into capital planning. I don't know where it would live. I think that's a FinCom
Or
decision.
a separate line and pull from bits and pieces from,
Yeah, yeah. Because like we have no money to contribute, but coming from the general pot of money for the town, they could figure out. Um, and I
but
mean,
you're right.
given
It's a shared interest in town. So yeah.
yeah, so So I think that would be good. And so I don't know when, I mean, Anna can probably easily find out when the school committee is going before the FinCom, but the school committee could
Yeah.
probably talk about it. And then, I mean, I know, I'm assuming we would be happy to go, but I'm assuming Frank would be willing to come as well for buildings committee. Um,
Mhm.
so it's the slow, and in terms of your other question, I mean, I think for the multiple bids, we would just have to do an RFP. Um, you know, the only thing that I'm a little unclear of, because I think it's played out in different ways, is if you have a vendor who's done some pre-work,
Yeah.
there's some situations where they become disqualified from
Yep.
bidding because like they sort of gave you enough upfront information. So sometimes they don't want to get involved because they want to bid once it finally happens. But I don't, Haley might know the circumstances around that. I feel like it's gone different ways
Hmm.
when you're disqualified and when it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you have any objection to my inquiring from my installer? That was 17 years ago. Where to get some suggestions on where we might turn to get a feasibility study?
You should go for it.
Would that be okay with you? Okay.
Yeah. I think the more irons in the fire, we might actually.
Mm.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's sort of interesting. It's an emerging field, but it's still, but because of that, it's still new.
Mhm.
And, it's not like you can call up a plumber and like there's a gazillion plumbers out there. So figuring out how one does this at a school, especially, um, it's a different deal.
Well,
So,
I'll see first if they're still in business.
yeah. Did you guys reach out to Dandelion at all, Nate?
Excuse me?
I didn't. I I don't think that it would be their it's like their main line of business. Like I think they really specialize in the home retrofits and
No,
What was the
no.
question?
did they reach out to Dandelion, which is the installer
Yeah.
that Nate and I used? So when they were doing mine, I was talking to the guy doing I think the drilling, but I can't remember. But they basically said they were shifting to commercial and they were doing a big job in the Midwest. Um,
Right.
and I think they're going to commercial just because, there's so many residences and they're all small and pesky. But if you do one big job, it's
Mhm.
probably
Right.
easier.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Could ask. I can ask.
okay,
Let's take that on.
cool. So so I think the other, based on this conversation and the one we had with everybody else, it seems like, the Greenworks thing is, oh, if we could pull it off, it's still an open. I saw Haley because that was the police interviews, and before the meeting, I asked her if we had a date for another meeting, and she said no. Um, but it seems like that's still a possibility until the deadline passes. Um,
Right.
and if the deadline passes and we don't apply, then I think it's a question of we'll find out about climate leader certification this month, and then we all either on ourselves or with the town can figure out what do we want to do for an August application.
Mhm.
Which is $1 million tops, but I'm sure we can put that to good use in one way or another. So, and I do that one. I do think we should, we shouldn't apply for something and then not be able to use it and maximum leverage something else. But I think applying for something sooner than later while there's less competition is beneficial. So, once we get clarity about the school project, we can figure out like, okay, what would we prioritize based on the roadmap? Maybe talk to the buildings folks, but that would be very cool if we can do something. And I'm assuming we'll find out. I don't know. I mean, now that Chris is retired, I'm not sure who's going to tell us, but hopefully we'll get an email from somebody at Green Communities.
Chris is retired?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't see that email he sent to us? He technically retired at the end of December, but he actually stopped a week or two early because of sick, vacation days and that kind of stuff.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yes, Chris is retired.
And is there somebody new?
Not that I know of. I haven't,
Oh, boy.
yeah. So I'm assuming someone will fill in eventually, but I have no idea. I haven't gotten any like, hello, I'm the new person yet on email.
Was it written to E ECAC?
I think so. I don't think I was the only one. Nate, did you see it?
I do not recall seeing that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it was to me, which seems odd because I don't think he always writes to me. Um, I apologize, but he definitely
Would you
is.
forward it, please?
Yes,
To
I
ECAC?
will.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will. Yeah. And yeah, I wrote back to him. He's happily living in Montague, trying to find things to do.
It wasn't that long ago that he came in. What, 3, 4 years ago?
Yeah, yeah. I forget what he was doing before, but yeah. I don't know if this was a different stint in state government or if he
Oh, boy.
joined, but in any case. Um, so if you want to shift gears, CCA, you want to do the update, Nate?
Yeah, I'm happy to do the update. So, we were, think, feeling quite ready to send out this postcard to Eversource households. But Colonial had a couple of questions for us. I think some of the questions were like, do you want us to use our return address? Maybe not necessarily rising to the level of a question for the whole committee, um, but they did ask, and you'll recall that Eversource customers, although the basic service rate for Eversource is lower than what we're able to offer through the aggregation, which is why we have not, um, folded them in um, with National Grid folks. Uh, Eversource households do have the option to opt into the 100% rec product.
Right.
And, we decided that that might be a little too much to put onto the postcard, but Colonial has offered to prep the website to accommodate those households. So if folks on an Eversource household want to go to the website and opt in, that information could be present there for them. And I think it's something that we could fold into our FAQs and just kind of create that glide path for them. And I think that would be a good thing to do it in like simultaneously with the postcard outreach. So I see nodding heads.
Yes.
The other update is that National Grid basic service rate is on February 1st, it's going up to, drum roll,
15 something, right?
15 cents. 15 cents, 15.372 cents. So I think we did a good job locking in the lower rate because electricity prices are actually not going down on their own. So we're going to be that delta between our locked in rate and what everybody else is paying is going to, diverge more and more. So
Yeah.
that's good news. And I think they're Colonial will be offering us reports on number of households and I think like how much money the town is saving in aggregate. Which I would really love to be able to work into our communications to the town in our annual report, stuff like that. I think I'm really excited about that.
Spreadsheets, here I come.
There.
I,
But I
I
think
think definitely.
that's the update for CCA as far
Well,
as
I think the other one, just I think that Denise said, because she did give us some enrollment numbers originally, and she said we're doing very well compared to other towns.
yeah, I can like for people opting out, like
Yeah.
not that many people opted out. So yeah, I will make sure to forward that to the whole committee because I think that you're right. Um, that is great news.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yay for us.
Yeah. And I gotta say, like, I mean, I've been following the whole state and national discussion about, rising electric rates.
Right.
Um, you know, and affordability and data centers is all one big giant ball of stuff. And I keep thinking, we don't have to worry for 3 years or just shy of 3 years. Like that's pretty
Mhm.
cool. And, yeah, it takes away that vulnerability, which is really pretty cool. So we did do good. Thanks for starting this, Nate.
Yeah. And I think after we finish with the current project, multi-committee project, I want to go back to Colonial and their talk about the community electric.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just
yeah.
talking to someone this weekend. I think that would be really cool. I agree. That's got huge potential. Do you want me to put it on next month's agenda for us to talk about? Deal?
Sure. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Can we do that and be working on this other thing at the same time?
Well, I think we could talk about it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's,
okay.
you know, if if we actually do a project at the school, then we'll probably have to figure out how to,
Because
I
that's
don't, that's,
grant writing and all that stuff that, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's bandwidth. I mean, the really nice thing is we now have a town administrator who can write grants. So, it's not always going to be on us, or we can do it collaboratively.
Well, and there's FERCog, who has a history of helping us write grants too, so.
Yeah. So, okay. So the last thing I think we're not going to get an update on because, well, I actually have a short update. It's on the Stormwater Committee. I, what Haley told the select board tonight is that they still don't have all the members. They're still waiting. They got some interest, I think, from a community member, but the other committees that were supposed to designate people have not designated people. I saw the FinCom's doing it at their next meeting, which I think is next week's. I mean, the Concom. So I don't think anything's going on yet, is my sense. But we get gold star for having made a recommendation and getting that done. Um, so I think the next discussion, which I don't know how much we can get into it, but in terms of next steps, sort of Gail, you sort of just went into it. So like we've mostly ticked off CCA and we've ticked off climate leader. So it seems to me like, if there's a school building project, that would obviously be something we'd want to tackle. The communities, solar would be another one. And just sort of like, I don't know if there's anything else to sort of sit back and say, okay, we actually achieved a lot for our little committee. What's the next step now that where we're at? So I don't know if you guys have immediate thoughts or if we should just have this be an ongoing conversation, but what do you all think?
I think you just said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think so too, Nate?
I agree with that. Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's a potential that we'll have our hands full. And you know, uh, but yeah, it can be. I mean, I think one of the nice things about this committee is if any member has an idea, um, people can suggest it and run with it, and you know, uh, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, and who knows with the stormwater stuff? I mean, it's not going to focus necessarily to core of what we do, but I'd be really intrigued because as Gail pointed out in some email I read recently, it deals with municipal vulnerability and the hazard mitigation. Like it's
From our
core,
minutes, yeah.
yeah, it's core to our charge. So it'd be interesting to see how that shows up. I am glad the town's focusing on that and they made it town-wide. I think that's really great. Um, so I guess we'll just have more information on that discussion, like based on next month, we'll know what's happening with the school and then we can sort of go from there. And this is gonna be a really short meeting. This is cool. You can go like,
I like it.
yeah. So minutes, Gail, what's the date of the minutes?
12:09.
Well,
And
anyone?
thank you both gentlemen for your substantial and excellent edits and comments.
Sure. You did really good, being that you were counting on a recording that you didn't get. So anyone want to move to
The
consider?
transcript is wild. It has every, yeah, beep.
We have to watch our language. Well, I would like to move to approve the minutes from 12:09, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll
And
second.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. Let's see. Gail, how do you vote?
Aye.
Nate?
Aye.
And I am an aye. So the minutes for 12/9/26 are approved. Um,
12:09:25.
oh, 25, right.
Yeah. Careful.
I'm being so,
Usually it's the
so
other
good.
way.
I know. I'm intentionally trying to remind myself.
12 steps ahead of yourself.
Yeah. There was something I was going to say unanticipated. Oh, I know what it was. It was just a small thing. Um, I did a little bit of recruitment, maybe a fifth member. So
And
I was talking to Charles Gillum at the library event this weekend.
who?
Charles Gillum, he lives on I think it's Pelham Hill at the very beginning. But we had a whole conversation about clean energy stuff, and he's looking to get involved. And I said, "Well, Charles, this is opening," and so I invited. I actually couldn't remember when the meeting was when I was talking to him, so I'm going to invite him next February to the February meeting, see if he wants to come. So, and if he doesn't, we should probably do a town announce or do something to sort of get our face in front of people
Recruit
again.
some more folks, yeah.
Yeah, and but that's my only other announcement. Do you have anything else you want to share? Either of you?
I'm gonna set another meeting time.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Let's see. I would say the 3rd or the 10th, just in case there is something to do around the school. Better do it sooner than later. So if
I
we
agree
can
with
pull off the 3rd, if you guys can make it, maybe we'll just do that.
I can.
Okay.
February 3rd, why not?
Okay. February 3rd, 2026.
Correctamundo.
At 7
Indeed.
o'clock. We will do it. Okay. That sounds great. And I'll let Greg know the next date and the fact that he missed the shortest meeting we've ever had. So, cool. So before we adjourn, we just have to have really positive thoughts that the video will show up somewhere that we can find it, whether in my computer or online. It's the great mystery of the day.
You have a chance to save it someplace?
Well, like I've
The
done
file?
this. It doesn't ask you. It just says it's converting. And I've looked, like when programs save, they usually save them like in program file / blah, blah, blah,
Right.
and in some directory. I've looked for that for Zoom on my computer, figuring if it's not in the cloud, it's somewhere in the bowels of my computer directory, and I can never find it. Like there's just no obvious place. I think I've actually once, not this time, I think last time, did an Explorer search of my whole computer looking for something.
Did you explore the extension?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just like any video file. So
Ah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, anyone want to move to adjourn?
I
would like,
Go ahead.
and I will second that. You beat me to it.
Okay, cool. Assuming no conversation on this one. Gail, how do you vote? Gail, how do you vote on adjourning?
Aye.
Nate?
Aye.
And I am an aye.
Go
We
to
are
the-
adjourned at 7:34.
We are so efficient.
So
Totally. Nate, drive carefully.
I will. I'll take it easy. And
Okay.
yeah, enjoy your evenings, everyone.
Happy
You
New
too.
Year, gentlemen.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year. See y'all.
Take care.